casino scams and heists. Number 1. New York Ring. This was a huge ring. Huge as in 50 to 70 people in this band of thieves. The ring went off in Ohio in 2012 with the aim to take casinos for a ride. Their modus operandi was rather basic. They would enter games with low bets like $1 or maybe $5 at most, and then secretly pocket other chips when the dealer wasn't paying attention. This player would then leave the table and pass on the chips to another ring member and would assign a higher value to the color of the chip, which would then get a higher cash out. A few of the men were caught after hitting about 4 cities in Ohio, but most got away. Number 2. The French Smoke. Casino Deauville, France, was the site of one of the most famous roulette scams, which also involved some awesome techie skills, but with the Hollywood twist of a beautiful woman. Basically, a man made a radio transmitter that was hidden in a pack of cigarettes, which his gorgeous sister held at a nearby table. There was a second receiver that he turned into a roulette ball, which he used as he conducted his table. His brother-in-law would then play roulette, and as the ball was spun, the smoking sister pressed the button on her cigarette pack, making the ball stop within a group of 6 numbers, so there was only about 10% chance the brother-in-law wouldn't win. Their downfall was the gorgeous sister, who attracted the attention of an interested security member, who started to put the pieces together. Number 3. Cutter Gang. The Cutter Gang would work the baccarat table. When the dealer asked someone to cut the deck, the cheater would inconspicuously rifle the corners of the cards with his finger just enough so that a camera in his sleeve could see and record the card numbers and positions. He would then leave and pass the information on to a fellow member. They got a little greedy and were held with suspicion in the Cosmopolitan Casino in Las Vegas in 2011 when they were raking in over $1 million. But the casino couldn't prove anything. Some members were caught out in the Philippines in that same year, while others walked away free and rich. Number 4. Canned Contacts. 4 guys got about 64,000 euros from the Princess Casino in Cannes, France in 2011 using invisible ink and contact lenses. Sounds like something out of a mystery novel for sure, but the men are real and are serving real sentences for their scam. One of the men, while playing stud poker, would mark symbols on the cards with invisible ink, a short line for an A and a cross for the king, etc. The other 2 men wore contact lenses that were specially made to be able to see the ink and so could read the cards. Number 5. Physics nerds. Way back before there were tiny cameras that could go in your sleeve or roulette balls that could be manipulated into little radios, there were these 2 guys. They were a couple of physics graduates from the University of California, Santa Cruz, when they had the idea to try to manipulate the roulette wheel with computerized shoes. One guy would disrupt the roulette wheel with a computer in his shoe, and the other one would receive the electronic signals from his shoe to tell him how to bet. As unlikely as it seems, they actually got about 144% return. Number 6. The Pro. Professional poker player Phil Ivey Jr. got to be a champion by working the table and card smart, and also with a bit of a cheating scheme. There is this technique called edge sorting, where players notice little defects on the cards or characteristics and then use that information to identify the cards. It doesn't sound like a really hectic cheat, and it technically isn't, but it is really looked down upon in the poker community. Playing at the Borgata Hotel Casino and Spa in Atlantic City, Phil won $9.6 million through his little trick, but it caused a huge amount of noise and the casino filed a lawsuit against him. Number 7. The Ocean. Recently, in 2013, a scam set the Crown Casino in Melbourne, Australia back $30 million. The man was never caught, and it's not even clear what his identity is. The nitty-gritty details on how John Doe robbed the casino haven't been revealed, but a casino consultant has pretty much figured out that it was done with the player gambling at the VIP tables, wearing an earpiece, while someone was stashed somewhere in or around the casino, checking out their surveillance footage and advising him what bets in place to make. This is pretty much all the public has been allowed to know about the huge scam. Number 8. Huan Quoc Tran. This is an old school style of scheming that hardly uses any technical equipment, just a gang of people working together. Huan Quoc Tran created a team of illegal card counters by recruiting the dealers to join his team and cheat for him in the interest of making a whole lot of money collectively. He managed to get 30 people to join his crew. the crooked dealer would give the illusion of shuffling cards when he didn't really, while another member, the main player, would wear a hidden microphone in his sleeve that he would whisper information to while pretending to smoke. He then had a code of how he placed his fingers on his cigarette for betting instructions. Together they made $7 million from 25 different casinos, but were eventually caught. Number 9. Just walk on by. In 1992, an employee of Stardust Hotel and Casino was just having an average day at work as a cashier. This employee named Bill Brennan and his crime were so simple that he got away. Far away. Bill simply stuffed his backpack with $500,000 in cash and chips and walked out the door. Calm, cool, totally unsuspected, but getting away with one of the biggest thefts of a single person in Las Vegas history. Bill has never been seen since. He is on America's Most Wanted list, but he is long gone, either on an island or in the big Stardust in the sky. Number 10. 1 Minute ATM. A group of 14 people took on the casino kiosk in California and Nevada using nothing but a debit card. There is this thing with the kiosk security where a 60-second window is left unrecorded in regards to multiple withdrawals. This is how it worked. The main guy, Eric Keshian, got a team together and asked them to open checking accounts with Citibank. They would then split up and use their cash advance at the kiosk to withdraw a huge amount, sometimes over 10 times as much of the money actually deposited within that 60-minute gap. Ara would take a cut, the rest was split to gamble, etc. Number 11. The Slot Hack. If you take a look at Dennis Nickrash's mugshot, you would not say that he was arrested for outsmarting the technology in casino slot machines, because he doesn't look like the stereotypical geek. Dennis bought himself a slot machine and then got the computer chips that regulated the slots from the maker of the slot machine. Yeah, you can do that. He then figured out how to modify his chip so he could control the payoffs, triggering a win whenever he wanted to. He managed to get his hands on a key to open up slot machines throughout the black market, allowing him to replace the real chips with his modified ones while hiding from the cameras. Over 22 years, he got about $16 million from his scam. Number 12. The Savannah. A man by the name of Richard Marcus got rich and retired on his gambling cheating. He then wrote a book about it, and because of the time lapse, the guy gets to sit smug in his new life of luxury without a worry. He wasn't a mastermind or a techie genius, and he didn't have a huge entourage or cameras up his sleeve. All Marcus did was carry out an old sleight of hand trick, hiding a very big value chip under, say, a $5 chip. If he lost his bet, he would grab his bottom chip, really poor etiquette at a table, and he often got scolded, at which he would feign drunkenness. If he won, though, the shock dealer would have to pay out the hidden value high chipped. He dubbed his move the Savannah. Number 13. The Card Steal. In Australia at the Jupiter Casino along the Gold Coast, one of the most straightforward and gutsiest scams occurred. A man actually stole a card right out of the deck. During a mini Baccarat game that was being played in the members-only section at the Club Conrad in the casino, a player actually slipped a card out of sight of everyone playing in order to manipulate the game. It worked, and the group of people who were playing, it seems it was a joint effort, won $700,000 collectively. They got very close to getting away with it, but they were caught and had to trade the cash for jail time. Number 14. Ritz Roulette. In 2004, a couple of Serbian men and women from Hungary invented a scanner that could be placed inside their cell phones that would be able to scan the spinning roulette wheel and be able to predict the winning number. It would judge the speed of the wheel and the ball and be able to come up with the zone that the ball would likely to stop in with about 90% accuracy. An earpiece would then transfer that information to them. The trio won 1.3 million British pounds from the Ritz Casino in London using this method. They were caught and arrested, but after taking a good look at the cause, they were not only released, but they were allowed to keep their winnings. Number 15. Circus Circus. Heather Tallchief was 21 years old in 1993 when she and her boyfriend Roberto Solis stole $3 million. While working as an armored car driver, Heather was supposed to refill the ATM at Circus Circus Casino in Las Vegas, but instead drove off with the cash. After getting pregnant, the pair parted ways and Heather fled to Amsterdam. After 12 years on the run, she decided to turn herself in so that she could give her 11-year-old son a better life once she paid her dues. Roberto Solis, however, is still at large. Number 16. The Roselli Brothers. The pair were dubbed the Roselli brothers, but it wasn't until after the scam had taken place that the FBI discovered that the actual Roselli brothers died years before the crime. The two scammers were very patient and very clever. For 5 years between 1995 and 2000, they stole over $37 million from casinos worldwide. They did this by hiring a computer jacker to find people with excellent credit. They then opened accounts in those names, put in their own money, and over time received credit lines at major casinos. They gambled using an intricate system of winning and losing, paying markers just a few days later, thus increasing their credit lines further. Some went up to $1 million. After a massive New Year's weekend of playing and winning, the brothers disappeared and haven't been seen or even identified since. Number 17. The Slot Wand. Tommy Carmichael was an inventor of sorts, or a cheater who found the best way to cheat. Either way, he won a lot of money with the wand that he created among other cheating devices. The wand was made so that it could be inserted into the slot machines and force it to release more coins. It was about 7 inches long and was made using a battery, a magnet, and a little light. He wasn't great at not getting caught, however. He was convicted of cheating twice in Nevada and once in New Jersey. He was also a part of a bigger contingency and soon found his name in the Black Book. Number 18. The Tran Organization. Before they were caught, the group that was based in San Diego called the Tran Organization had managed to steal $15 million from various casinos in the US and Canada during the first few years of the new millennium. It was a pretty straightforward scam. The swindlers enlisted the help of casino dealers and even, in some cases, the supervisors to help them by cheating themselves in false shuffles in baccarat games. These false shuffles were pre-recorded so that the players could win multiple hands. The group also expanded to other cheating methods in other games, but by 2011, 42 people were caught and found guilty. Number 19. Vigoa. Between 1998 and 2000, Jose Vigoa pulled off a series of casino robberies with the help of his brothers-in-law. He also ended up murdering 2 armored truck guards in order to get his greedy hands on more money. His criminal days ended with the final robbery of the Bellagio. His ineffective disguise meant the detailed images of his face were broadcast on TV, resulting in a swift capture. For his violent crime spree, Vigoa was given 4 life sentences, all with no possibility of parole. He entered into a plea agreement so that he could avoid the death penalty. Number 20. MIT Blackjack Team. The MIT team is probably the most known thanks to books and movies detailing their winning spree. It all started with a group of brilliant students from the Massachusetts Institute of Technology who used their smarts to create a system based on statistics, i.e. card counting, in order to beat the casino at blackjack. The team grew steadily with new members undergoing rigorous training and testing before hitting an actual casino. At least 70 people were involved in one of the biggest scientific and well-organized attacks on blackjack, and that doesn't include the investors. They managed to operate from 1979 to early in 2000, although some members were identified and watched during those years and decided to walk away.